And hello, all of my fellow nerds out there. This is Oracle Nerd Richie, and welcome back once again to Ace Attorney: Truth and Consequences. So, last time we got through the Cyclops that were blocking off with Greta, and we found out why she didn't like Nadia so much. If you guys don't remember, then I recommend you go back and watch the previous episode. But to catch you up, the ones that do remember, we found out that she didn't really like Nadia because Nadia was apparently the chosen child. Her parents favored her over Greta because Greta couldn't channel spirits. And and now we're gonna be heading to Hazakura Temple to hopefully get more information on the case. January 2nd, Hazakura Temple. I've just been going straight to the courthouse and back. It'd be nice to see what this place has to offer. Bikini, Iris, and Rafa should be around here somewhere. If I Oh, she's wearing her little coat! That's so cute! If I recall correctly, the training hall has some materials in it. The training hall? Across that bridge, you mean? It is indeed. You can investigate there, right? Don't worry, it's been reinforced. No one's fallen through in 10 years. You already forget who fell through it 10 years ago? You fell through the bridge? To be fair, it was on fire. You fell through a burning bridge? I thought Maya was in danger. Boss, after hearing that, I've come to a conclusion. Oh? You're a hazard for your own health. That's fair, actually. And you do really dumb things when you love someone, but mainly the first part. Well, I'm about to cross that bridge again for Pearl, so... Let's go, Nick. I'll hold your hand all the way across. Oh. Okay. Uh... Dusky Bridge. That's what it's called? Hazakura Temple, Dusky Bridge. Oh, God. Come on, you can do it. Are you sure you don't want to just pop over there and shower Rafa yourself? Be okay. Maya said she'd hold your hand. Do you want to hold my hand too? Alita, please give me more credit. I'm an adult. They, they only need I only need to hold one hand to get across. Good for you, Nick. Oh, it's so cute. Inner gate? Is that it? Second, Hazakura Temple, inner temple. Well, it's over. Yep, it wasn't so bad, really. You're shaking. Okay, so it was a bit scary. She whimpered like a little puppy and clung to her entire arm. Okay, it was scary. I'm not good with heights. But you still tried to run across it while it was on fire? When someone you love needs your help, you don't think, you just act. Exactly. No matter how dumb what you're about to do happens to be. Well, don't do it again, okay? I'd rather keep you around a bit longer. Long as your arm's there to cling to. Deal. Rafa should be in the training hall. Let's get to it then. Training hall. January 2nd, Hazakura Temple Training Hall. You? What are you doing here? I actually came to ask you a few things about the seance. Sorry, but I didn't find I didn't find as much as I hoped. I looked into school, but there weren't many books on the matter. I was planning to call home to ask Braidhead, Braidhead if he has any ideas. Does she refer to anyone by that name? How are you doing? I'm fine. How's your head? It still hurts sometimes, but I feel much better than I did yesterday. That's good. You took a pretty nasty fall. I'm not proud of it. I was merely tired from all the travel and wasn't feeling well. Completely understandable. I'm not blaming you for it. I still wanted to talk to you, though. Very well, I could use a break. So, did you find anything useful? I found a few things, but I would still need to know what spirit it was. Good thing we figured that out. Dahlia Hawthorne. She's a real piece of work. That looks an awful like Sister Iris. They're twins. I see. This helps a lot, actually. I'm impressed, Barbed Head. You don't have to look so surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm merely impressed. I thought I would have to do all the work myself. Glad to be of service. Wait, is that it? Is that all we have to talk to you about? Okay. Can we present something? I feel like we should present something to her so we can get more information, maybe. Okay, let's examine. What's in there, anyway? It would appear to be spare acolyte robes. They sure have a lot of spare robes. It makes sense, though. Sometimes we channel people way bigger than us. We didn't want those robes to rip open because of a wardrobe malfunction. Oh, trust me, I get it. Though the spirit could always do what Tarust in me did. What did he do? Took off the top part of your outfit. I was shirtless in court? You were channeling a man. That's still my body. And thanks for making the whole situation more awkward. Yikes. Honestly, I kind of forgot about that. Quite literally, I kind of forgot that was a whole thing. Yikes. Okay. Oh. Are you alright? Oh, I was lost in thought. Yes, I saw the crest. She was your mother, wasn't she? Yeah. I can't pretend to know exactly how you feel, but it's okay. It's been a long time. I'll be fine. I got plenty of family still around, don't I, Nick? Yeah, you definitely do. Aw. Okay. I was unable to get in there, but I suspect it's not important for the case. It's not. It's just for training. Even so, I was hoping to take a look in there so I know what to expect. Sorry, I don't have a key. Not going to try and talk me into breaking in this time? I've grown beyond petty crimes like that. Says the person who let herself into the dwellings earlier today. With the key? I'm just glad I don't live in Korine. Alright, well if there's really nothing else. No clues here. Okay. Go back. Ooh. Wait. Maybe... Oh, wait. Rifa's case files. Oh, wait, we need to ask her about these, don't we? Rifa crossed out most of the defendants' names, but circled some. Otto Laev's is crossed out. Where did you find those? By your bed in your dwelling. You looked through my room? We did our best not to pry, but these were out in the open. Those are private, Barbed Head. That's a strong reaction. I should probably ask about those. So why do you have all these case files? I picked them up for a bit of light reading. That's light? I'm not so sure. These marks, what do they mean? Oh! And they're back. I should have been expecting them. But I think I might have what I need now. Oh yeah, that's right. Ooh. Wait, so now we just Magatama? Time to interrogate. Your case files. Rifa, there's something funny about the way you've been acting. I've been acting perfectly normal, Bobbed Head. But you're acting strange. You seem awfully suspicious of me. It's not that I'm suspicious. I trust you, I do. But this is about Pearls. I have to do what's best for her. I think you know what that means. I have to ask some uncomfortable questions. Starting with something I noticed on the first day. I saw it myself. This person made you feel uncomfortable when you got here. Profiles? Um, you're sure it was her, right? Take that! It was Nadia. As soon as you saw her, you looked awfully nervous. I... I did no such thing. I distinctly remember this. You have a history with her, don't you? So what if I do? Well, it's not exactly a pleasant history, is it? Your father did try to have you and your mother killed after all. Huh? Oh, how'd you find out about that? I spoke to Greta. She knew about it too. Oh, of course, Mystic Greta. Well, so what? Nadia's gone now, so what does it matter? It matters a lot, because you were worried Nadia was going to do something. You were worried about this, weren't you? She was she tried to kill you, she was following you, she was trying to steal the throne. She was trying to steal the throne. Of course not. Where did you get such an idea? It's not speculation, Rafa. I have proof that that was her plan. Proof? You can't know that. Her father failed his objective. He was trying to kill the queen and he was arrested. I just assumed Nadia had given up on it. It's been a year. She told me there was no hard feelings. She was lying. I think you know that. In fact, I have something here that tells me she still had it out for you. What? This is how I know she still intended to take the throne. Ooh. Nadia's letters. What's that? Just some old letters? Yes, but one part of her mother's letter sticks out to me. There is only one more obstacle in your way. But you have to overcome far more than just her. You are not. You are more worthy than she ever will be. I didn't know that letter was written. She told me. She told me she didn't care anymore. She told me it would make things better. What would make things better? Nothing. Nothing. She never mentioned the throne, and she never threatened me differently. Treated me differently. She didn't have to, but there's something deeper here, isn't there? No, there's not. There's nothing deeper. There is, Rafa. You shrugged off all kinds of horrible things. But this, this is getting you? I think I may know why. Stop it! This is the true reason Nadia's brothers bothers you so much. Because you're afraid to make a better queen. She's more powerful than you people. You're afraid she'd make a better queen. What? Better queen? How dare you say such a thing? You're making that up, bobbed head. I would never believe that. Wouldn't you? I think you still have some insecurities. Maybe even a bit of guilt. Guilt? Me? What? You're speaking lies. I'm not speaking lies. I have here be proof that you're second guessing yourself. This is what proves you're worried about your position. It has to be the case files, right? That's the only thing I can think of. There's nothing else that I have that belongs to Rafa. Hmm. Is this these case files? You did divination seances for all of them, didn't you? That doesn't matter. It matters, Rafa, because Kurain relied on the seance entirely. Every verdict was guilty, every defendant punished. All because of your seances, and I think it weighs heavily on you. These circle ones. There aren't many of them, but there are maybe a dozen. Those are the ones you think might have been innocent, aren't they? Ah! There we go. Unlocked successful. Oh, now we can talk to her about him. Rafa. You... You are right. I've been poring over all these cases I did seances for. And most of them, it was obvious. But looking back on these, you did, if you'd been there, if someone had been there defending them, if they were innocent, what if they were innocent? It's not your fault. How? How is it not my fault? I'm not even queen yet, and I did this to my people. You were brainwashed. You didn't know any better. And you weren't the one who punished them. The blame the blame lies within Garan. It doesn't matter. It might as well have been me. I was the one who acted all high and mighty because I was the princess and they were just criminals. At least that's what I thought back then. But seeing you defending Maya and Albie, uh, and now seeing Apollo and the other lawyers defending the others, and sometimes the seance is all we need. Sometimes it's really obvious. But other times, every so often, I feel like a monster. I feel like a murderer. I must have broken up so many families without even thinking. That's not true. Listen, how often are seances enough to convict someone now? How often does what happened get caught in plain sight in them? Most of the time. But sometimes it's like it's like I said. It's like I said, it's evidence and you use it more, right? What's the conviction rate now? It's gone way down for lesser crimes. But for murder, it's about 91%. Even with other evidence, most of the time, it's not as complicated as your cases. Those were the outliers, the exceptions. The victim is usually facing their killer. They usually see it happen. No blackouts, no outfit changes, nothing strange at all. But those 14, it happened from behind, or we didn't see the moment of the murder. Which means they could have been Rafa. 4 of them have been executed, so we'll never know. I've already contacted the others about appeals. But now I have to go back. Now I'm doing the dance of devotion every night, looking at those insights to make sure. To make sure I didn't miss anything. And most of them, I can cross their names off because there's no other way to read it. Like Alto Laev's? Yes. The case against him was ironclad. He was guilty. It was undeniable. That's why I crossed out his name. Paulo loses most of his cases because of them. But he doesn't lose every time. And every time he proves I interpreted it wrong, I can't help but wonder how many times I did it before you came along. You want to know something? I think you're going to be an incredible queen. What? The fact you're willing to look over all these cases again is important. It means you care about justice. About them. That you're willing to admit you were wrong. And that's what makes you a good leader. And why you shouldn't be judged by your mistakes. Have you ever been wrong about a client? Yes, I have. 3 times. One was my first ever loss in court. I nearly got an innocent person convicted. One was a petty criminal. I got unjustly acquitted of theft. Nice guy, but still guilty. And one, though innocent of the murder, betrayed me and left me to pick up the pieces of his life. Yeah, Zach. Anyone remember good old Zach Gramier? What about Pearl? I think she's truly innocent. I believe it with all my heart. And if she's not, nothing changes. I'll stick with her to the end. You want to know something, Rafa? If there's one thing I've learned, it's that being innocent isn't a character trait. It just means you didn't commit this crime. You're right. I'd like the case files back, please. Oh yeah, here. Case files returned to Rafa. Damn. That was a lot. Alright, let's head back. Let's go to... Let's go to to the main hall. January 2nd, Hazakura Temple, main hall. Phoenix, I didn't think you'd come by. We were hoping to talk to you. Of course, I was just about to get dinner ready. Would you like to stay? Would you like to stay? No, we're sort of just passing through. Well, please sit down for a moment. Make yourself at home. Ooh, wait. Her sprite changed. Look, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we think our mystery spirit was Dahlia. What makes you think that? She was spotted heading in that direction. I see. I had a feeling. I'm so sorry. This must be hard to hear. No, it's okay. She seems really torn up about this. Not that I blame her. Would it be okay if you clarified a few things for us? Yes, I'll tell you what I can. Dahlia was a forbidden spirit, wasn't she? Yes, she was. Do you think she'd still want Maya dead after all this time? I don't know. I don't think about her much. She was very vindictive. It's certainly possible. Do you usually keep a picture of her on hand? Yes, but only one. How come? Phoenix, as awful a person as she was, I don't want to forget her either. Greta seemed to want to write Nadia off entirely. Sometimes I feel like I should, but there's another reason. Another reason? I kept that picture, yes. All the pictures of her around Khura'in were destroyed. I felt as if, just in case something like this were to happen, you would want there to be a picture so someone could channel her. Yes. I'm curious. You two were identical, right? We were. But you're older than she was when she died. So would looking at you be considered knowing what her face looks like? I think so. For a while. But once they get much older and grayer and all that, not so much. The person must know what the person's face looked like when they died. Variations are okay, that's why artwork can sometimes be a way to know. But if you were to look at a picture of me as a child, or me in 50 years, you wouldn't look enough like her when she died to be able to tell. But after only 10 years, your face would be enough, right? Yes. Then why did Nadia keep the picture of Iris's if Iris's face would have been sufficient? Do you know if Nadia and Dahlia knew each other in life? No, I don't think so. I don't think they ever met at all. Then how might she have been found out about everything? I don't know. All I could think of is the Forbidden Spirit list. There's a reason written when one is added. I don't usually read them myself. Sometimes I'd rather not know. Dahlia was an incredibly violent spirit, Nick. She's one of the most dangerous spirits to channel. Maybe that's something I should know more about. I've heard the term violent spirit or dangerous spirit thrown around. Can you tell me what those terms mean exactly? All violent spirits are dangerous spirits, but not all dangerous spirits are violent. Some cling to a host because they want to live again. That makes it hard to sever them, even for the experienced medium. But a violent spirit is unlikely to willingly leave a host. They'll cling to them, even after death. After death? They can do that? Yes, killing the host would kill the body. But it takes some time for the spirit to fully leave. It's quite rare that it happens, of course. But if a host body is killed, the spirit takes the long time to leave. The medium can no longer control it, you see. So they stay paralyzed until they eventually can't anymore. Do you think Dahlia clung to Nadia's body? I don't know. It's possible. It usually has to do with how much the spirit wanted to stay connected. Even a vengeful spirit who has no real connection to the host could leave immediately. So our insight could potentially have show sometime after the murder. Or it could show the murder itself if Dahlia was indifferent to staying. I suppose it could go either way. Thanks for your information, Iris. It helps a lot. Alright. Okay, let's come on look around. Reminds me of going to the bathroom in high school. Although I doubt any of this kanji means 8675309. I I actually get that reference. I actually do remember. I actually did remember rewatching one of Jacksepticeye's videos when I think it was a Blood Wash. I think is the game he played, and it was like 567309 on 8675309 written on the wall, and he thought that was a code or like a number you had to call. Sean, if you're watching this video, that's not a number to call. It's a reference to a song from the Americas. It's an old song, very old song. Is that a code for something? You're kidding, right? I guess I have more culture catching up to do. I'll fix it, don't you worry. Oh, I love it. You know, Nick, if you had a Magatama like this, you wouldn't make the Cyclock face. I wouldn't? It'd be more like Cyclock scream and drop whatever you're holding. You're not wrong. I mean, it does look pretty heavy. Okay, I'm guessing there's not much else here. Okay, let's go to Hazakura entrance. Oh yeah, that's this. Okay, well, it doesn't seem like we can find anything else. Okay, let's go back to Crime Village. Let me think about this. Okay, here we are. Crime Village, Fey Manor. Anywhere else you want to go? I'm not sure. Heck? Jeez, is that Monica's alarm? What? I said, is that Monica's alarm? I can't hear you. I think it's Monica's alarm. We should go check it out. Dude, stop it. Stop it, stop it. Monica? Oh, thank goodness. I thought my ears were about to start bleeding. I'm so sorry. I was trying to test the stupid alarm. I guess that does work after all. Test the alarm? I was trying to figure out why it didn't work. If it goes off if you don't use the key to open it. It didn't go off when Apollo, Athena, and I kicked it down. I know. That's why I was checking it. I'm so sorry, Maya. I ruined everything. You didn't ruin anything, Monica. Your system was a huge help at the trial. Besides, Nadia had the key, remember? Yeah, but whoever cleaned up the crime scene obviously locked the door. But the alarm never went off. I was trying to figure out why. It's programmed based on whether it's locked or not it's locked? That's a pretty cool system. It would have been if it worked properly. I don't know what it was thinking. I should have hired a security company. Nah, your system is great. It's just the locking thing that was a little wonky. I thought I programmed it right. The only reason it would have failed is if I'm actually just realizing now. I'm just realizing that that this Monica and a different Monica seem to have they seem to have a lot of trouble with programming, don't they? I'm just saying. I kind of notice the similarities here. I thought I programmed. Hmm? If wait a second. If what? If Monica, don't. Maya, please. Don't what? And why would it have failed? Well, if I forgot to arm it in the first place, you forgot? Yeah, I must have. Don't worry, Maya. I won't let you down this time. I'm giving up on the Tedki stuff. From now on, I'm devoting my life from being a spirit medium. Hey, don't. You were really passionate about this. Please don't give it up on my account. Please. Yeah, I'd hate to see you drop it because of one mistake. Come on, Maya. You know I've always told you I didn't feel like I was good enough. So maybe I was right. Monica, don't do that. Seriously. I'm sorry. I have to go. Poor thing. It really wasn't her fault. Of course not. I think we should just leave her alone. Yeah. Okay. 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 I don't think there's anything else left for us to look around. January 2nd, Corrine Village. It's getting kind of late. Maybe we should talk to Pearly. Yeah, that probably is a good idea. I think I'm going to try to work on this some more. I've been wearing the monitor, so let's see if Widget detects anything. You think she'll get it working? I really hope so. In the meantime, let's go. January 2nd, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Ah, good. I was hoping you'd show up. Good news. Those prints you and Emma run were a match to Nadia's. So she definitely drugged the bread. Well, we also ran tests on the leftover bread, and that was definitely spiked. But that bottle you found just proved it. Pearl didn't drug Maya. Of course, the lab guys said that bread was laced with a lot of what's it. Enough to kill Maya if ingested enough. What? But she couldn't move that night. But the hospital said it wasn't too bad. But I guess it had been a few hours. How much of the bread did you eat, anyway? I felt off after a few bites. Ah, that explains it. Must not have eaten enough to be dangerous. Still, with that level of overdose, you really should have been resting yesterday. You sure you're okay? I feel just fine, Nick, honestly. Thank goodness. I'd like to see Pearl now if that's possible. How's she doing? Not so good. But she doesn't look any worse than yesterday if that helps. I guess I'm glad she's not worse. Thanks, Gumshoe. We still got our rebel guy in the detention center too, in case you want to stop in. I think I'll pass on that. Figured you'd say that, but I thought I'd ask. Besides, we already had a visitor today, and if she couldn't get anything out of him, he should be glad the class was in the way, assuming it was Francisca. Yeah, I think that's pretty futile, but thanks. Come on, Maya. Pearl's waiting for us. Nick, I'd rather you talk to her by yourself. What? Why? I just think she needs to know you'll be there for her. Okay, if you're sure. You got this, Nick. Okay, detention center. January 2nd, detention center. Oh, Pearl. Hey, Pearls. How are you doing? It's alright, you don't have to talk. I could do enough for both of us. It's going to be okay. I'm going to make it. Make it okay. Whatever happened in there must have been terrifying. I have a feeling you don't remember much of it, do you? That's why you've been having panic attacks, isn't it? Well, don't worry. It's my job to figure it out. I think I know who it was that was channeled. You saw her too, didn't you? I'm so sorry. It must have been terrifying. I know, I get it. And whatever happened in there, however you might have reacted or felt, it's okay. You'll be okay. I won't stop until you get your voice back. Even if you don't get it back after the case ends, I'll keep fighting for you. I'm here for you, to the end and beyond, for as long as you need me. I love you, Pearls. Know that, right? I wish I could stay, but we're so close. One more night, Pearls. I really think I could finish this tomorrow. Thank you for trusting me. I won't let you down. Yeah. Something about this case feels off to me. Feels out of place. Feel like whatever's in those black locks are part of the larger story I've missed all these years. And whatever happened with Pearls that night was the catalyst for something much deeper. But I won't let anything distract me. Pearls is my priority. I won't waver in my faith in her. There's always someone else. There has to be. I know there is. I just have to keep believing. To be continued. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. There's a lot of these to be continues. I won't lie, but this is a pretty big chapter. Okay, January 3rd, 9:23 a.m. District Court Defendant's Lobby. Hey, are you all right? I told you nothing changes, and I meant it. Whatever you're hiding, you don't have to worry with me. I won't abandon you. Phoenix, good. I think I made some progress. The moon matrix hooks up to the heart monitor and is starting to pick up patterns. It's not enough to use on Pearl, though. We just have to wait for a recess, I guess. Or another day. I doubt we can get that. Maybe an extension. But I have a feeling this is it. I have to prove her innocence without her side of the story. You can do that, Nick. I'm glad you think so. Sorry if I freaked out yesterday. It's not a problem. I get it. I just really wanted it to work and... Well, and when it didn't... I meant what I said, though. I don't think I'm cut out for this. I failed you, Maya. If I just thought about... Don't blame yourself. And don't give up on your passion, please. If I weren't so worried for Pearl, I'd feel bad for her. Good morning, Barbed Head. You know, you could always just call me Phoenix or Mr. Wright. I'm sure I could if I so pleased. Worth a shot. You look pleased with yourself. I believe I can do it. Channel the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne. You think so? I successfully managed it last night. Although I have to say, it was less clear than I would have hoped. Oh? There were no visuals at all, just other sensations. I suppose that's the problem with trying to do this with an already dead spirit. Hey, anything helps. I'm going to prepare myself. She seems unusually chipper. Maybe she's trying to forget about yesterday's conversation. Iris, you're here. I'm concerned about this. You don't think we'll have to channel Dahlia, will you? I'm really hoping not. I'll do it if it becomes necessary, but I'd rather avoid it. Yeah, no kidding. I haven't forgotten last time. I'm hoping it will be alright. You did very well yesterday, Phoenix. I'm sure you can figure out what happened. Are you alright? You're shaking. I'm nervous. I guess it's residual fear of seeing Dahlia again. She nearly killed me. Both of us, actually. Yeah, that's true. But I still feel like we're not quite there yet. Not quite there yet? I just think we might be missing something is all. Yeah, I think so too. We're missing a lot. There seems to be a lot of information we might not even be relevant at all. Or be all that relevant. That's what has me confused. How much of this has to do with what happened to Nadia? No idea, but every little bit helps. I know it seems hopeless, but you just relax and let me figure it out. You've seen me get out of plenty of tough situations. This is just another one of those. I hope. January 3rd, 10 a.m. Hazakura Temple, courtroom. Court is now in session for the trial of Pearl Fey. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is also ready, Your Honor. And I see we will be trying once again with this seance business. Rafa assures me that she has managed to get a seance working this time. The Koreanese embassy has sent me quite a bit of information about the process as well. I see. Then we might as well get on with it. Unless I'm much mistaken, the spirit we're calling upon is Dahlia Hawthorne. That is correct. According to a reliable source, we are likely to see one of two things. Either we will see some time after the murder before the spirit departed from the deceased, or we will see the moment of the murder. Either option will provide us valuable information. And this will be used as evidence only, not definitive proof, I assume. Yes, it's another piece of evidence. Yes, we could watch the defendant kill the victim and you'd still deny it. The seance can be misinterpreted. Of course, such is tradition for you. I believe it is time to call Rafa Padma Kurayan to the stand. Ooh, this is gonna be good. Thank you again for this opportunity, Your Honor. Of course, Rafa. Would you like to proceed? Yes. The sooner we get to it, the better. First, please dim the lights. Barbed Head, please remove my robe once more. Then we can proceed. Oh, we get to see the divination seance once more. This is gonna be so good. Oh, it's saving. That's perfect.
Oh, Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. Oh, dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Watch the dance. Get it. You know what? We're gonna watch it. I want to watch the dance again. It's so good. I'm gonna watch the dance again, just for the sake of content. Well, not for the sake of content, but just because the animation is so good. Oh, okay. Let's hope it works this time. Come on, come on. Show us something. Show us anything. Come on. Oh, pain, cold, wet, fire, woman screaming, footsteps, man's voice, squish, woman's voice, man's voice, woman's voice. Okay, they're going back and forth. Footsteps. Oh. Oh, wood breaking, man screaming, splash. Oh. This insight is a little confusing. Unfortunately, there was nothing I could do about that. It would seem the victim was already dead and the spirit clung to her body. Not even remotely surprising for Dahlia. She must have been furious to be thwarted a second time. I have to admit, however reluctantly, that this information could be invaluable. Still, what were those words on the screen? We are not only witness to the victim's last sights. All their other senses lay before us in the pool of souls as well. So, then the words we saw were sounds, smells, sensations, and tastes? I see you're finally catching on. I, I knew you would sooner or later. Does something seem a little off to you? Off? Well, it just seemed a little strange and is all. These insights are often strange. I know, but I feel like something's even stranger about this one. I guess we're about to find out. Alright, let's go get on with it. What does this whole thing mean? Silence. Allow me to present the truth of this case. Insight. Oh! Oh, I haven't done this since the demo. Rafa's insight. Victim's eyes were obscured, thus rendering her incapable of sight. The folding screen had been set on a light and was burning. She heard a woman discover a body. A man approached and spoke to the woman. Then he left the woman alone to proceed to Lake Ike. He threw something into the lake with a shout. After this, the spirit was severed from the host's body and knew no more. Ooh, okay, so that's what we got to work on. These are the spirit's final experiences before her death. Or I suppose, her second death. That's a lot more to unpack here. And since visuals are so sparse, perhaps it would be best if we were to treat this more like a testimony. Dahlia's insight. Rafa's insight of Dahlia Hawthorne's last memories check for details. Ooh, okay. Ooh, and we got cross-examination for the insight. Oh, this is gonna be good. Rafa's insight. Victim's eyes are obscured, thus rendering her incapable of sight. Is it possible to see? Is it possible she couldn't see because her host's body was dead? Spirits do not operate like the living. The body is merely a vessel. The spirit is perfectly capable of experiencing the senses. The only thing it cannot do is move inside of a vessel that is no longer living. And it can't stay there either. The more the spirit wants to remain, the harder it will cling to the body. And you learn all this in your research? Quick learner, aren't I? So I need to keep in mind that the spirit could experience everything, but she couldn't move the body herself. She'd have been paralyzed. The folding screen had been set alight and was burning. Why do you think this? Why do you think this is when the folding screen was burned? That's easy, Barbed Head. The sound of fire was constant throughout the insight. That's true, but do you think it would have been loud enough? I suppose it must have been. Yes, that's likely why she heard it so faintly. So someone could have set it on fire after killing Nadia, right? I expect so, yes. Let me guess, Mr. Wright, you're about to say it wasn't real fire. Sounds exactly like something he'd say. You're very funny. No, I think it was probably fire. I guess it's possible the screen burned loudly enough for Dahlia to hear it. I still have my doubts, but it's not technically a contradiction. She heard a woman discover a body. A man approached and spoke to the woman. Hold it. When you said she heard a woman discover the body, you're referring to the scream she heard. Of course. That's not a surprising reaction, is it? No, it seems pretty in line with how most people would react. As a matter of fact, I vaguely remember Athena screaming when we found Nadia's body. Alright, then that can be our assumption for now. The thing that confuses me is the presence of the man. Do you even know who it was? Right now, my best guess is Dad's Hourable. I'm guessing this is when he encountered the cleanup. I concur. To my knowledge, no other men were out that night. He's the only one we know of for sure, at least. We noticed that they spoke rather quickly. Still unsurprising. One would likely be panicked about the situation. Yes, all of us making sense so far. Although, what in the world was going on with the cleanup? And did I hear a different scream that night? Or is that one what I heard? Then he left the woman alone and proceeded to Lake Ike. Hold it! Lake Ike? Why do you suppose he went there? I don't know. Perhaps he wanted to dispose of the body. But he left the body there. That's true too. Perhaps he couldn't move it. Then why head to Lake Ike in the first place? I don't know everything, Barbed Head. I'm trying to interpret the seance as best I can. Okay, I get it. Sorry, please continue. He threw something into the lake with a shout. Hold it? And that distant shouting was in the splash we heard? It must be. It's the only explanation I could think of. Any ideas of what it was? Perhaps something wooden, hence the breaking sound. I didn't happen to see anything in the lake when I looked it over. It's possible he weighted down with something. But the wood broke, so perhaps it was too heavy. And that would have resulted in wood floating atop the lake. Perhaps we should try to figure out why he shouted. There was a splash. Perhaps he fell in. Fell in while holding something wooden. I assume so. She's usually more confident in her interpretations. Either she changed a lot of her insight, or her insight is stumped. At least, she's not pretending she knows exactly what happened. After this, the spirit was severed from the host's body and knew no more. And that's when she could no longer be channeled? Yes, that sounds about right. Would she have looked like herself or the victim during this time? That's a good question. I think the body would look like the victim's. Because the spirit's connection is weaker. Something like that, yes. It's just me, or is there something oddly familiar about this? You remember it happened last night. I have a vague memory, but I just can't put my fingers on it. I suppose we need to figure it out if she's interpreting anything wrong way first. Something is definitely weird about this insight, Nick. You gotta figure it out. Yeah, I've got some reservations about it. Okay, incapable of sight, that makes sense. But it makes sense, right? If you think about it. Rendering her incapable of sight. Wait. Wait, but Nadia's eyes were open. Wait a minute. Rifa, there's a huge problem with your interpretation of the events. As I expected, what is it this time? Take a look at this picture. But that's exactly my point. Her vision wasn't obscured. But how? I didn't see anything in there no matter how many times I tried. It seems clear to me that her vision was obscured at the time. But perhaps her killer covered the body with something so they wouldn't have to look at it. Why would they? But why would they then take it off? I don't know, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I am only trying to make sense of your contradiction. This insight leaves us with far more questions than answers. It's obvious that they were not just reading this correctly. Aren't we? Because I happen to have caught a contradiction of my own. You did. There's no need to look so shocked about it. There's a very simple one. So simple, I'm surprised you didn't even notice. Come now, look at the inside again. Don't you see the glaring problem with it? Come to think of it, there is something missing here. Something to do with the victim. To do with what the victim felt, saw, heard, smelled. Has to do with what she heard, right? The victim could have heard something. Very good. The victim could have heard something, something you all heard that night. Can you guess what? The foxes. Why didn't she hear the foxes? The foxes, I forgot about them. Why didn't she hear them? That is the big question. Now allow me to ask another question. Why was the victim wet? That's a good question. The letters were large, indicating that this was an overwhelming feeling. It seems to me there was only one place the victim could have gotten wet. Are you saying that she was near the lake? It's a possibility, isn't it? I have a theory, Mr. Wright. Uh-oh. I don't like where this is going. As I see it, all the evidence leaves only one explanation. It does? What explanation is that? Nadia wasn't killed in the summoning chamber. She was killed next to the Lake Ek, and her body was retrieved there. What? Order! Miss Markama, this changes the case completely. And yet, this is perfectly in line with the insight, isn't it? Well, maybe, but that leaves us with a lot more questions. I know I did it correctly. I was practicing last night. I don't think your skills are in question, Princess. In fact, I think the problem is with our collective sleuthing skills. What are you trying to say here? She was killed somewhere else. It's the only explanation. Nick, we have evidence for that. You do? What is this evidence that Nadia was killed somewhere else and moved to the chamber? We do have evidence for that. Wait. No, not that. Pass through the glass. A path down the middle of the chamber has no glass in it. It is clear someone picked up these pieces, but was why was it so wide? Pieces of glass were found on the floor bearing Pearl's fingerprints. See that? There was a path in the glass leading up to the body. Nadia could have been dragged there. But it doesn't explain why she couldn't see anything. There's only one explanation that makes sense, but it's a little strange. Still, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring it up. The reason she couldn't see anything is because she was underwater. Only one explanation makes sense. The victim was underwater. Underwater? Are you out of your mind? It makes sense. The sounds were muffled. It was too dark to see anything there, and she could have been face drowned. A rigor mortis develops more slowly underwater, which means she could have been positioned later. Really? Is that true? I assume so if the judge is saying it. You learn something new every day? Hey, let's assume she was underwater at the time. Would she have a harder time hearing everyone? Not if they were standing above the lake. The foxes were distant. It would make sense if it had been too muffled to hear. Well, she obviously wasn't drowned. Then that would have shown up on the autopsy. Of course she wasn't drowned. It's likely she was pushed in. She'd have floated to the top. Only 2 people were near the lake that night, according to the insight. The woman could have been our killer. Then why would they retrieve the body and position her later? There are too many unanswered questions. Rafa, do you think you can update your interpretation of the insight? Yes, I think so. Then let's go over it again. I think that's a good idea. Rafa, please update your story. Insight. Ooh. Okay, here we go. Rafa's insight take 2. The victim was submerged underwater, thus she could not see her surroundings. She heard faint sounds of the fire set off by the fireworks nearby. A woman came to retrieve her body. She screamed and a man approached. He jumped into Lake Ike to get the body for her. After this, the spirit was severed from the host's body and knew no more. These are the spirit's final experiences before her death, I think. And it's just as unclear and difficult to understand as the last explanation. It does make slightly more sense, but we need to discuss it a bit more. I agree. Let us see what we can glean from this. Insight take 2. And that is where I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode for now. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe, click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason.